In Java, how to make a method retains an array. It is very simple. You simply declare a local array inside the method, you initialize it with data, and then use the array identifier in a return statement to retain the entire array. For demonstration of how a method can retain an entire array, let us implement the following method. It says here, write a static method called randomList with two integer parameters s and d that generates a list of size s with random numbers of exactly d digits. The method is to retain the list as an array of integers. So basically this method will generate random numbers. These numbers are of exactly d digits, and d is input as a parameter to the method, and the number of integers is equal to s. Previously, we know how to use the expression to generate random numbers if we know exactly with a constant number. For example, exactly 8 digits or exactly 4 digits. So we know how to find the minimum and we know how to find the maximum. Now, the size of the number is given as a variable here. So how to find the minimum and maximum of this number to give us exactly d digits? Now, let's take an example, and then from there, we can get the expression. If d is 2, the minimum is 10. If d is 3, the minimum is 100. And if d is 4, the minimum is 1000. And if d is 5, the minimum is 10,000. So notice how to find the minimum from d. We count the number of zeros. To get the minimum for d equal to 2, it is simply 10 raised to power 1. To get the minimum for d equal to 3, it is simply 10 raised to power 2. So to find the minimum, it is simply equal to 10 raised to power d minus 1. Now to find the maximum from each d, if d is equal to 2, then the maximum is 99. So 2 nines. And we can get 2 nines by subtracting 1 from 100. Now to get the maximum for d equal to 3, it is 3 nines. And to get to 3 nines, it is 1 minus 1000. And for d equal to 4, we need 4 nines, which is equal to 10,000 minus 1. And finally, for d is equal to 5, we need 5 nines, which is equal to 100,000 minus 1. So how to get these values the maximum? Basically, for d equal to 2, it is 10 raised to power 2 minus 1. For d equal to 3, it is 10 raised to power 3 minus 1. And last, for d equal to 5, it is 10 raised to power 5 minus 1. So in this is the way we find the minimum and maximum of a number that is of exactly d digits. Let us write the code. Here is the implementation of the method. It is public static, and this is how you define a method that retains an array. In the return value, you declare the return value exactly the same way as you declare an array in a program. How this method generates random numbers of exactly d digits? We specify start, as we explained by this equation, by 10 raised to power d minus 1 for the minimum. And for the maximum, which is end, it is specified by 10 raised to power d, the result, minus 1. Now power retains double, so we have to typecast it. And to find a number that is exactly of d digits, we specify the range, which is the maximum minus the minimum plus 1. After specifying the range of the randomly generated numbers, an array of integers of size s is declared inside the method. And this array is filled with random numbers using the expression that we are all familiar by multiplying range by math.random plus start. In each iteration inside the loop, the randomly generated number is saved into the corresponding indexed variable. And finally, the last statement in the method, return list, will retain the array list as a return value from the method. So what is exactly returning by this method when we say return list? Remember that arrays are objects. So when you declare an array of size s, you are creating an object, and this object is pointed by the name list. And when this method returning list, it is in fact returning the address of the array. So once this address is received, then we can save it into another array. Let me demonstrate to you on how to use this method in a program. Here we have a demo class to test random list method, and this is the method definition, and we are now here in main program. So we ask the user how many numbers, and we saved it into an integer size, and we asked the user how many digits of the randomly generated numbers, and we saved it into digits. So now how to call the method? We call the method by writing random list, and we supply the size for the first parameter and digits for the second parameter. Since it retains an array, so we have to define an array of integers and give it a name and assign the return value from this method into this array. So as we said that before, that the method internally will create an array and make it pointed by list. And then when this list return value as an address is returned, it's going to be saved into array. Now let us print the values inside the array. And we are going to print 10 numbers on each line. So we will say system.out.print, and we will print array of I, and we will put tab. Now to print 10 numbers on every line, we will use if statement and test the value of I plus 1 with modulus 10. If it's equal to 0, then we need to go to a new line by using empty println. So let us run the program and test it. Here we have an error. It says system.out.print. I should put a plus. I forgot to put a plus. So run it again. So now it is asking for how many numbers. Let us say we want 8 numbers. And what is the size of the digits? It will be 9. So it has generated, as you see, random numbers of exactly 9 digits. Let's run it again, and we will ask for 100 numbers, and each of size exactly, let's say, 6 digits. So this is how we print on each line 10 numbers by using if statement with modulus 10.